following is a presentation of the Pontywood Sports Network.
Everybody, welcome to the broadcast with Counselor Stephen Shires along with Jason Locke. We have a couple minutes ready before we have the opening pitch. We have the starting Rough Riders for the starting lineup for the Rough Riders coming out right now. That's brought to you by Napa. We hear them giving the lineup. We'll see it right here. So we're going to start off. Casey Greer's going to start. He's playing shortstop tonight, Jason Locke.
That's right. With Wolf moving to the mound tonight, we got Greer on short. And then Link's going to step in the second spot. He's playing third tonight. Of course, we mentioned Easton Wolf's going to start on the mound. He is in the 3-hole. Stockwell's going to clean things up. He's playing first base. And then Lane, of course, the anchor behind the plate. Emanis getting the start tonight at second base. Radney over in left field. Chandler in right. And Holloway rounds it out in center field.
And so we see here from defensively how we're going to look. With Lane behind the plate, of course, and Wolf. We'll see that again at the bottom, or no, we'll see it now at the. We'll see it at the. Yeah, no, at the bottom of the first. We'll see this again. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get my. It's awful loud. Their PA announcer.
Yeah, we had a special recognition tonight. I thought it was pretty special. This is unknown to us, but good news. This is athletic training month, and so they had their athletic trainer throw out the first pitch tonight at the game in a ceremony. That was a pretty nice gesture and well-deserved. We kind of some of those unsung heroes behind all of our athletes.
That's right. Let's hear from Wright Chrysler that brings us our pregame show, and we'll be right back.
Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Center proudly supports all the students and schools of the Piney Woods. Stop by the lot and feel free to check out all the wonderful vehicles we have to offer, no matter what adventure you're planning on taking. We have a wide selection of used vehicles and a service department that can service your vehicle. Get all the info you need about your next vehicle online. That way you're prepared for your car deal when you hit the lot. Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Center.
All right, folks, welcome back. Sorry about that. We had a minor computer glitch that has been remedied, and we're getting ready now for the first pitch, where we're going to have number 3, Casey Greer, going to lead off for the Rough Riders.
And we're playing the Palestine Wildcats tonight. Beautiful stadium here in Palestine. They're going to start a young man named Jeffers, big right-hander. We've got a hard left to right wind. If you're a left-handed batter, it's going to help you tonight because the wind is blowing out directly over left field. So anything hit to left or center is going to have some problems tonight, but right field's looking good. Beautiful stadium here. We're up on top of, I don't know what this is called. We're going to call it Wildcat Hill.
Yeah.
If you've ever been to a game in Palestine, they've got everything all together here. Brand new football stadium, brand new baseball and softball all stacked up here on the hill. Good looking venue, and they've done a really nice job.
This series brought to you by Farmer State Bank. So thank them for that. We'll be hearing from them throughout. You see the right-handed hitter. Interesting, we talked about Locke. For the first time in some time, we actually have some left-handed hitters.
Yeah, it's been quite a few years. You know, I guess over the last 3 or 4 years, we've sprinkled in one here and one there. This year we've got 2 or 3 in the lineup, and that's pretty rare for us. So good thing tonight, right-handed starting pitcher. We'll see if we can do some damage with that.
All right, we'll go ahead and get a quick Farmer State Bank ad in real fast. and we'll be right back.
Whether it's with family and friends or just some time to yourself, summer is better on the water. And Farmers State Bank has exactly what you need to make those dreams come true. Learn more at fsbctx.bank.
All right, here we go. And now we're going to have Greer step in for the Rough Riders leadoff, and I'll turn it over to the voice of Rough Rider baseball, Mr. Jason Locke.
Riders are going to send Greer, Link, and Wolf to the plate. Greer, one of those left-handed batters we talked about. Jeffers has stepped on the rubber, and here we go. First pitch outside, ball one. And that one inside and called strike under the hands. Count now 1-1.
Greer batting in the 300s.
And a swing and a miss, strike two. And that one foul back. So Greer, coach's son, no pressure, leadoff batter for the baseball coach. Nobody's expecting him to be able to do anything, right?
Correct. That's right. Plays second base and shortstop.
And that pitch high out of the zone, 2-2. Speedy coming out of that left-handed batter's box. If he is able to get a bat on a ball here, he's got a lot of speed going down the base path. That one outside, full count. Doing a good job working Jeffers here. And ball four, the Riders have a leadoff walk. That one skipped off the catcher. Oh, my goodness, folks, they fell asleep. So if you are watching at home, that was ball four. It skipped off the knee pad of the catcher, and he just kind of watched it go back to the fence. Fortunately, the first base coach was watching, sent Greer to second. Now they are giving him time so he can get rid of some arm pads real quick and gloves. But he was able to steal second base, and that's just unfortunate for the catcher, but
heads up ball.
Heads up ball play there for the Rough Riders, and they have a leadoff walk and stolen base. So no outs. That's going to bring Link to the plate and a man on second. And this is a bunt, hard bunt, out to the pitcher's mound. He's going to go to first base, overthrows, runs headed home. They're going to send Link to second. The ball went out of play into a dugout, so they awarded a base. Now they're going to question and send.
Well, he should get one base. He should get an extra base, right? He should get two bases.
If he is already over halfway, then that's the base he advanced to, and he should get one extra base. We're going to see. I'm not real sure what they're. Are they sending the batter? I have no idea what's going on. They are sending Link to the dugout. Okay, folks, we have no idea what just happened, but they called Link out on the play and sent Greer back to second base. There's one out. I wish I could tell you. We don't get an explanation from the umpire, but I have no idea what happened. That looked like a clean bunt. Unless the ball somehow, I don't know. I don't know what happened. That one,
ouch,
hits Wolf on the elbow, and he'll take a hit by pitch, so a man on first and second. Boy, I wish we knew what happened to Link in that instance. Looked like a clean bunt that they threw away at first base, but they called him out and sent him to the dugout. So now the Riders with no outs have first and second.
There should be one out, right?
should be one out. They've not put it on the board yet, but Link is out of the game. I mean, he obviously was called out on the play. So it should be one out. We're going to give Wolf a minute to walk around. Wolf is our starting pitcher tonight. He took that right off the left elbow, and he is still shaking it off. That hurt.
Yeah, that's right on that funny bone, right?
Right on that elbow. I mean, he took it full force. He gave a little bit of a turn like you're supposed to, but we could hear the pop all the way up here in the booth. The coaches are going to check on him. Umpires are going to give us a little time here. Don't misunderstand. We don't want anybody to get hurt, but especially the starting pitcher who hadn't thrown a pitch yet. Hey, it's National Athletic Trainer Night. Maybe, maybe we need to get the trainer out there.
Yeah, we're going to leave it here just to kind of monitor what's going on, and we'll try to get an explanation somewhere from.
So Coach Greer goes over and has a word and just makes sure everybody's good, and I think Wolf said he's fine. Okay, so that brings Stockwell, the cleanup hitter, to the plate, one of our left-handed bats. He's got a runner at first and second with should be one out by our calculation. And that pitch outside, ball one. Okay, so they've got it on the board now. There is one out recorded. And this is hit off the inside of his ankle. So the count now 1-1. Stockwell really's come on well this year, now batting cleanup for the Riders. Played a lot as an underclassman, has worked his way up, earned his spot. A lot of these guys started their freshman and sophomore years and have worked their way into juniors and seniors. And a steal attempt.
I think we call a time. I think Stockwell called time, and I think the umpire gave it to him.
I don't think Coach Greer is very happy about that. Gave Stockwell a long look. I think he had a double steal called. Stockwell possibly misread the sign and stepped away.
So we'll do it again. One ball, one strike, one out. So triple aces.
Coach Greer very adamant with his signs that time. This pitch well outside, expecting
That's almost a pitch out, right?
That was definitely a pitch out. They were expecting the steal again. That's okay. We'll take ball two. All right.
Yeah, but what a turn of events. This game could very well be
it should
1-0.
Yeah, easy 1, possibly 2-0. And they pick it first and call him safe at first base. They did catch Wolf kind of leaning a little bit, and he ran back in instead of diving back. It was close at first, but the umpire calls him safe. All right, so the count's still 2-1, one out, man at first and second. And this is swung and missed.
It's been a foul tip.
Ball went all the way to the fence, but I think you're right. I think the umpire said maybe foul tip. So
that's right. I think I heard it.
2-2 count.
Tall, much like in center, tall outfield walls, maybe even taller than what's in center.
Yeah, and the lines are not marked. Very similar to the horseshoe. The lines aren't marked. Tall fence. Looks like a pretty deep field here up on top of the hill. And this hits sharply in the hole. And they're going to hold the runner at third, and bases full of Rough Riders with one out. So a hard hit single by Stockwell, and he's on. That's going to bring Jaden Lane to the plate, folks, with bases loaded and one out. that ball got super close to Wolf's back foot. He just kind of hopped at the last second. So close. I think the second baseman yelled that it hit him, but obviously it didn't. The umpire had a good venue there. Umpires asking the dugouts to quiet down a little bit. This has been a busy first inning.
Yes.
A lot of action on the base path and in the dugouts. Bases loaded, one away for Jaden Lane, another left-handed bat. Hit this hard. That's going to get down. At least 2 will score. Rough Riders are rounding the bags.
That's going to be 3.
1 run is in. 2 run is in. They're going to hold at third. So Jaden Lane with a bases-loaded double and 2 RBIs to start things off here in the first inning for the Riders. What a piece of hitting. Jaden Lane took the first pitch he saw and ripped it all the way to the wall in left center, or excuse me, right center. Kind of a little hill out over in right field. You may not be able to tell on camera, but the ground actually rolls up to the fence and actually lifts a little bit. And that ball rolled all the way up the hill and bounced off the metal fence. So 2-0 Rough Riders with 1 out here in the first. And we still have runners at second and third. That's going to bring Emanis to the plate. And a swing and a miss.
Emanis, his batting average is up to 227. So we'll see if we can't increase it more here with another big hit.
And that one low and outside, 1-1. Not sure what the Rough Riders drank on the way over here tonight, but they got a little go juice. Everybody swinging the bat hard and making good contact.
We got first baseman playing in on the grass.
And Emanis swing and miss. They're staying away from him on the outside. They're trying to set him up to pull, obviously, and trickle something over to first base. But
till that time, I wondered if you wouldn't think about a safety squeeze bunt. But now it's 2 strikes, so you can't do that.
big curveball from Jeffers, and they're going to call that strike 3. It was close enough. Jeffers not pitching badly, folks. He's throwing good, hard fastballs. The Rough Riders are just being very aggressive tonight, able to get on top of a couple of them and hit them hard.
I know, but we want to be greedy here. We don't want to leave runners on second and third with less than 2 outs.
That's right. They're going to pull Lane for a pinch runner here. So now with 2 outs, Lane comes in, goes ahead and gets his gear on. And that brings Radney to the plate. 2 outs, man at second and third base. Radney, another lefty.
Youngster at that.
Ball 1.
Nice curveball. It just barely missed. It started way outside. Thought it was going to be, but it cut back in, but just not quite enough.
So Jeffers, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but Jeffers has one of those big looping curveballs. Starts way high and then just falls off at the plate. And this foul back, 1-1. There's that curveball again, stays up high. He's getting the right to left action on the curveball. He's not getting a lot of drop on it. So the ball's staying up out of the zone when he misses. 2-1. Comes back outside fastball, 3-1. All right, Radney with a chance here. Needs to be patient. 3-1, worked himself to a hitter's count.
Man,
Two outs. This is the pitch he's waiting on.
Yeah, I'd be sitting on that curveball. Nope.
And he comes back
with
fastball and goes to full count. Big pitch coming here for Radney. I'm like you. I would be looking curveball here. Jeffers has gone to it over and over. Nope.
Got him.
Comes fastball. That, folks, that the catcher turned his glove over and caught it in the dirt. Radney was shocked. It was just a bit low, but too much to take in that spot. The Riders able to capitalize. Counselor, where we are.
So Riders get 2 runs on 2 hits with 2 errors by Palestine here, and they lead 2-0. We'll be back for the bottom of the first right after this.
Batters Law Firm is your first choice in personal injury law. Jeff Batters and his staff lead the way in the area with best of Nacogdoches and best of Lufkin votes over the last several years. If your case matters, it's got to be Batters.
Batters Law Firm is proud to be a third-generation.
Serving our communities for over a century, Farmers State Bank continues to meet the financial needs of East and Central Texas. With roots that run deep, Farmers State Bank serves as a source of financial strength to meet the needs of our neighbors. From a comprehensive range of financial products to individual service, we remain dedicated to being a true community bank. Farmers State Bank, improving lives and fulfilling dreams.
All right, everybody, we come back again. Our Napa Auto Parts Rough Rider defense will set them. Jason Locke, Easton Wolf pitching tonight. Jaden Lane behind the plate as usual. Stockwell at first. Emanis comes in from the outfield to play second. Jackson and then Case and Greer moves from second to short. Sutton Link at the hot corner as usual. Radney, Holloway, and Chandler out in the outfield.
So the Wildcats are going to send Metters, Vega, and Warren to the plate. Metters going to start things off. He is the center fielder for the Wildcats.
So Colt Metters, is that the?
Metters, Medders.
He's going to lead off for Palestine. And we have.
Wolf comes fastball, strike one.
Of course, we know Easton, I call him Captain Hook because he likes to throw the curveball. But his fastball looks pretty popping tonight. He's going to do
this one fouled down the right field line and out of play. He is up early, 0-2. Yeah, he likes to set them up and throw the big hook.
Yeah.
And he is 0-2 count. This would be the place to see it. Throws a changeup. That's going to be hit to short. Greer comes up throwing, out one. Nice play there by Greer.
Sorry about that, folks. We got somebody walk in front of us right when that was happening.
All right, so Vega comes to the plate, left-hander.
Sebastian Vega. I do like the public address announcer here.
Wolf wastes no time. Fastball outside. Still steady wind. If you see the flag blowing, it is a hard wind from left field, right field. That one comes inside under the knees, strike one. Wolf working quickly, pounding the zone tonight. Comes back, change up, and misses. 2-1. And there's a strike, even things up, 2-2.
Oh, I'm behind. Get that caught up there. 2-2.
One away here in the bottom of the first. And comes inside. That one's going to hit him on the foot. And both teams now have issued a hit by pitch here in the first inning. Wolf doing a lot of digging out there. I don't know if y'all can see that, but he's having a hard time with his landing. Once he throws his pitch, that front foot is just moving on him, and you can see him hollering in the dugout as he digs that he just can't get his footing. We'll see if that gets cleared up. So a man on first, one out, brings up Warren, the 3-hole batter. They check Vega at first, and he's back. This is hit high into center field. Holloway camps out, makes the play over his shoulder, turns and throws. And a good job for out number 2 by Holloway. Kind of saw the wind get under that a little bit, and the ball hung up just a hair. Holloway had come in for it, and it hung up a little longer than he expected and caught it over the shoulder. All right, so Warren flies out to center. That's going to bring the cleanup hitter, Rose, to the plate. Man on first, 2 away. Curveball outside, misses. And this hit hard in the gap. Runner's going to round second and stop. Good job by Chandler getting on top of that quickly, held the runner at second base. So Rose steps in, first pitch he sees, or second pitch he sees rather, he hits for a single. So with 2 outs, the Wildcats have runners at first and second, and that brings number 15, Marshall, to the plate. Marshall's their catcher. So both teams pretty active at the plate here in this first inning. And a good hard fastball, strike 1. Wolf's got a pretty good little snap on that fastball tonight.
He does.
And the changeup, they're going to say he did not go. Kind of a little bit of a wobble, wasn't quite a swing, wasn't quite a take. Umpire said no, so the count's now 1-1. And that one's right down the pipe, strike 2. Changed the eye level. He started low and away fastball. That fastball was high, right under the elbows.
Shouldn't there be 2 outs?
There should be 2 outs on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got it. All right, runners first and second, 2 away. And a swing and a miss and a twice the eye strikeout to set down the Wildcats. Easton puts them away.
So we finished 1. Riders are up 2-0. We'll be right back.
You know that Ace Hardware of East Texas is all the hardware you need, but there's a lot of other things they have too. Fun things for your camping trip. For the 4th of July barbecue, to the house warming in the fall, to your Christmas shopping, it's Ace Hardware, the helpful place. People come to Covington Lumbers for construction projects, and one of those, paint projects. Whether it's exterior or interior, Covington's has you covered. With the Farrell Calhoun brand, over 120 years of excellence, vivid colors.
For paint, it's Covington's.
Imagine what it would be like to be your tire.
It's not good, man. Watch where you're going.
It ain't easy work, so you don't want to trust it to just any old tire. No, you take your car and truck to Center Tire. It's an old tradition with a new chapter under Trey Burns, because being a tire is hard work.
Are we there yet?
All right, buddy, welcome back. We go to the top of the second. Rough Riders up 2-0.
That was a busy first inning.
It
That
was,
took
yes, it was.
what? That took right at 25 minutes to complete that inning. Riders had a lot of action at the plate with some base runners.
So we're going to have Chandler, Holloway, and Greer here.
Chandler, left-hander, plays right field for the Rough Riders. Get things off, started off here. Jeffers still on the plate. And here we go. And that pitch low and inside, ball one.
Bounced in. So Chandler plays first base, played some excellent first base for us. Plays in the outfield, and he also pitches.
Made a good,
He's another youngster.
Made a good catch in the first inning. And that one outside, catches the corner. Counts now 1-1. Yeah, good-looking athlete out there. And that one fouled out of play. So he is one of 4 new position starters this year. Had 5 returners from last year's team. All 5 of those guys started back when they were freshmen and sophomore. So a lot of experience in the field for the Riders. And a swing and a miss on an outside fastball for strike 3. All right, that brings Holloway to the plate. Plays center field. Big curveball outside. Whoa!
What?
My goodness, he called a strike.
He called
folks.
out a strike?
Catcher had to dive to catch it, but we got a strike call
Whoops.
at the plate.
I got to fix the
we
scoreboard
gotta,
on that.
Comes back with the same hook, and it is a ball, so now 1-1.
Now we're even up, because that looked like a strike to me.
Ooh, goodness gracious.
But Lordy.
So singles all the way across the board. Fastball comes back, and that's going to foul off the net. So 1-2 with 1 away here to Holloway. And that one well outside. 2-2.
Are you sure?
I'll tell you what, watching this ABS technology in the major
Yes.
leagues and some of the mistakes these umpires are making at the highest level is pretty incredible. And this one hard hit but fouled off. I mean, you know, we kind of pick, well, this is high school. You're going to have that. But my goodness, at the major league level, they've seen some of this stuff.
Yeah. I think these guys do a great job.
I watched a game the other day. They had 3 calls.
That was the curveball.
In the same inning, curveball misses high that time. He had missed high in the first inning. But I saw 3 appeals in the same inning, and all 3 got overturned. It's just, and a swing and a miss. Actually, a good at bat for Holloway. He's got to see a lot of pitches, worked hard for him, fouled a few off. But the Riders have 2 down, and we're back to the top of the order with Greer.
Greer got on with a walk and scored.
And that outside pitch is called strike one. Do think that one caught the plate. And that one fouls off the instep. Give Greer a minute to walk that off. That hurts real, real bad.
Yeah.
He is still kind of gimping around and stretching. That one's going to leave a mark.
Yeah. Try to knock some feeling back into it today.
0-2 count. Way outside, 1-2. Way outside again, 2-2. That was a curveball from Jeffers. Got a good break on it. Ball stayed outside the plate and was high. Comes back inside and just not able to catch up. Greer goes down on strikes. So 3 strikeouts on the inning. And we'll head to the bottom of the second. Counselor, where we stand?
Riders still lead 2-0. We'll have Easton Wolf out for his second inning of work right after this.
So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the Pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center.
I've always liked me a snow cone.
Excuse me, Sam.
What?
What is exactly a snow cone?
You ain't never heard of a snow cone?
I've heard of it. I've just never tasted one. This cone-shaped snow.
Well, you need to get over to Granny B's and Jason Mitchell and the gang. They'll show you, Mr. Smarty Pants.
You can't have spring or summer without Granny B's.
All right, everybody, welcome back.
All right, Easton Wolf still on the mound for the Riders. He'll face Jeffers, Ordonez, and Bassett. And starts Jeffers off with an inside fastball, strike one. So Jeffers, the opposing pitcher, batting in the 6 hole tonight. Fastball down the middle, strike two. Wolf really with good control of the fastball in these early innings. He is painting a picture out there. Comes back, curveball. That one's going to be pulled right up the middle and over second base. A good pitch, but a good piece of batting by Jeffers. Give him credit. He was able to pull that for a single. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Ordonez. Man on first, no outs here in the bottom of the second. Shows bunt, pulls back, and takes strike one. And they check on Jeffers at first. He's back. Link well in on the grass and crashing. Bunt is shown. He slashes and hits it in the gap between short and third. And another single for the Wildcats. Not sure even if Link would have played regular depth. That ball was struck pretty well and in the gap. I don't think it would have mattered. He was well in on the grass there and out of position. The normal fielding position, but it wouldn't have mattered. Ball was hit well. So runners at first and second, no outs. And that brings Bassett to the plate. He shows bunt, and this one is fouled down off his feet for strike one. Bassett's the right fielder. This time Stockwell comes crashing in. He pulls back and takes a curveball, strike two. So good job by Wolf.
Yes.
Throwing the curveball in there. Bassett jerked back immediately. And this one hit high in the air. This will go out to Radney. Radney makes a good play. Everybody is chased back to their bag and one away. So just kind of a looping fly ball out to Radney. Good play by him. Riders put one on the board. All right, so the 9-hole batter comes up. This is Wacha. Interesting last name. Now one away with first and second. And Wacha takes a ball outside. Comes back inside.
A hard
and
strike.
That was a hard strike. Boy, you could hear Lane's glove pop there. 1-1. And saws him off. That's going to tag third for an out. They skip to first and double play. And the Riders are out of the inning. What a nice job. It started with Link at third. He touches the bag and comes all the way across the Stockwell for the double. And the Riders out of a jam. Counselor, where are we headed?
All right, Riders still up 2-0. Palestine picks up 2 hits with no outs, but Wolf was able to induce a fly ball and then a twin killing here for the first one we've called this year for the Rough Riders. So we'll be right back. Riders are up 2-0.
The games have never been bigger this fall, and whether you're rooting for the Cowboys or Texans, or you hook 'em, gig 'em, or wreck 'em, don't you deserve to watch them in style? So just a reminder that Blake Furniture saves you money on everything you need to make these the best game watching days ever.
Hey, if you're like me, lots of stuff is collected off up at your homestead. Call it down home clutter. Well, there's a place for it. You ain't got to have a garage sale or a bonfire. You can take your down home stuff to down home storage. That's what I did.
Everybody, welcome back. We go to the top of the third, and we're going to lead off with Sutton Link here for the Rough Riders, and he's going to watch a curveball float in there for strike one.
Link, Wolf, and Stockwell gets things going here in the top of the third. Riders up 2-0, trying to add to it. Another curveball. That one's in for strike 2. Jeffers finally getting that downward drop. He had been leaving that curveball high. It was breaking right, left. He just wasn't getting any kind of drop. Those two both dropped, so. Comes back high fastball, misses outside, 1-2. And this one's punched at and punch foul. It bounces off the net, back out to the pitcher's mound.
Wind is still blowing pretty hard out there.
And this one hit hard. It's at the shortstop, Warren, and he makes the play for the Wildcats. Link hit it right to him and hit it real hard. Made an easy play for Warren. All right, Easton Wolf to the plate.
Hit by pitch last time.
So these Wildcats will be in Center Texas Friday night. If you get a chance, come watch them. If you don't, watch them here with us. We'll bring you the game live. District matchups. You play each team in your district a Tuesday-Friday series, and you go all the way through the district that way. They've already played Bullard. They dropped 2 to Bullard. So tonight's the first game against Palestine.
Right. We'll play them on Tuesday, and then we'll play on Thursday.
Check that. Yes, you are right.
Well, we got Tuesday. Palestine will be Tuesday. Thursday should be. Yeah.
Whoa, that one a little chin.
The 31st is Tuesday, and then Thursday will be April 2nd. Will be the Madisonville, I think.
That's right. I'm sorry. So it's a Friday, Tuesday. Yeah.
They're off. Used to be Tuesday, Friday.
Right. You played Tuesday, Friday. Now they've mixed it up. Yeah. You go Tuesday and then the next. All right, and that a called strike. Goodness, that Wolf had already stepped out. It was a 3-0 count. He had stepped away from that and got the call 3 strikes. The called strike. So it's now 3-1 count. This hit hard toward the gap. Third baseman knocks it down. Rose does not field it cleanly, and Wolf is on with a base hit. I'm thinking that hit the glove pretty cleanly. They'll call that an E5.
We're going to call it a
Rose.
Because he had to range a long way for it.
That was a pretty good range. The ball kind of trickled away into short left field. Wolf is on with 1 out. And that's going to bring Stockwell back up. And they check on Wolf. He's back, almost threw that away. First baseman had to come off and jump to stop that one.
Wolf likes to be aggressive on the base pass. They know that, so they're going to try to keep him close.
Well outside, Stockwell up on his toes. Let that one go. 1-0. Another good lead by Easton, another half step. They do check him again. That one almost thrown away again.
Yeah, they're playing with fire on that, aren't they, Locke? Threw one away already.
Easton goes. The throw is down to second, skips into center field, and Easton steals second base.
The throw was in plenty of time. It was just offline.
Well, the pitch was outside already. I don't think it was a pitch out. I think it was just an outside target. Easton went. The catcher had a good look at it, but he bounced it in, and it got away from the shortstop.
Yeah, I was afraid that we were going to get caught there, but.
Yeah, you're right. The throw was in time, just not on time. Not on the bag where it needed to be. Stockwell has a man at second now. He fouls that one back. It's 2-1.
these scenarios, this is where you need your cleanup batter to get a base knock, because even a sharply hit ball in the outfield will likely score Wolf, who is very fast.
So Jeffers asks for a clean ball and gets one. Counts 2-1. There is one away. Wolf at second. And a big curveball comes in under Stockwell's chin and misses high again. 3-1. This is the pitch he's wanted.
Yep.
Fastball outside, and Stockwell fouls this down the left field line. Third baseman tries to make a play and does not. Ball was curving on him. He dove for it, and it literally bounced in and out of the glove. A good effort by Rose over there, just not able to complete the play. Tough ball to track down. So Stockwell stays alive. It's a full count.
We'll see if that comes back.
Now look at the flag blowing. I mean, that foul ball went up toward third pretty cleanly, but once it got up in that wind, it started moving, and Rose was running and diving. This one's hit high. Shortstop calls for it. This is Warren, and he's able to put it away. So a good at bat for Stockwell. Got to see a lot of pitches there, but not able to move Wolf over. So with a man at second, 2 outs.
See if Jaden Lane can do it again.
Jaden Lane, the man of the hour, had a 2 RBI double in the first. Big hook, stays outside high, ball 1. Back outside. That ball didn't break at all. Could have been a changeup, not sure, but it was off speed. 2-0. Staying away from Jaden here. That's probably a wise decision. First base is open with 2 outs. Comes inside with the changeup, and they're going to call strike. Jaden wasn't sure about that call. He asked where it was. He literally said, was that inside or outside? And the umpire said, get back in the box.
Right.
So a 2-1 count, 2 outs. Outside, 3-1. Outside, and Jaden Lane draws a walk for the Rough Riders. So a lot of respect there shown to Lane.
Yeah, they didn't give him a whole lot to hit.
No, there was one pitch in that whole sequence that you could argue was hittable. Now it's going to draw a visit from the Palestine coach. So now the Riders with men at first and second and 2 outs. Andy Manis is going to come to the plate. Ran through a little bit of sprinkle on the way up here. I hope that makes its way over toward Shelby County. All right, so the Wildcats get a game plan together. Runners are going to head back to their bags. We've got Emanis coming to the plate with 2 outs and 2 on. Jaden Lane has been lifted for a pinch runner again. Manis takes a good fastball, strike one. I'm going to guess that's the best pitch he's going to see in this at bat.
Yeah.
Inside, misses, 1-1. So Jeffers has really liked throwing the curveball to our left-handers, and he tries to stack up fastball changeup on our right-handed batters. Comes back inside fastball and misses, 2-1. All right, 3 fastballs to Jimenez. Breaking pitch coming here for sure.
Yep. So hopefully you're sitting on that, looking for that breaking pitch.
Change up. Foul back into the fence. 2-2. Long look by Jeffers.
Now a timeout.
And going to step away. All deuces on the board. We got 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 men on. Riders leading by 2. And this one hit softly. It is going to be picked up by Jeffers, tossed to first base, and he is out of the inning. Boy, that was a good opportunity. The Riders not able to capitalize.
Riders still up 2-0. We'll be back for the bottom of the third right after this.
This is where legends rise and moments are made.
They're still on his feet. Come on, let's go, still on his feet.
From the buzzer beaters to the game winners, we bring you the action. Raw, real, relentless. We cover every angle, every story. From the streets to the stadiums,
We're going all the way.
your favorite athletes, your teams,
Ford breaks a tackle. Oh my gosh.
your passion, all in one place. New games, live shows.
Here he goes. He's got some blockers.
This is the future of sports media.
There he goes. Pick up into the secondary.
This isn't just a network. This is a movement.
Ooh, oh, he ran over the defender.
Welcome to NETSN Game On.
Everybody, welcome back. Go to the bottom of the third here. We see Wolf's numbers here. Been trying to get that up for last inning. It was on the left field fence. But anyway, I've got it here now. You see Wolf with a 3.15 ERA with 11 strikeouts coming into tonight. He's added a couple more since then.
So the Wildcats are going to send, let's see. Looks like they're back to the top of the order. That's what I thought I saw. So Metters, Vega, and Warren come to the plate here in the bottom of the third. Outside, ball 1.
Riders able to put up 2 runs in the top of the first.
This hit hard in the air to center field. Way back, and that gets over Holloway's head. He rips it in, but that is a stand-up double for the leadoff batter, Metters. Not sure what happened. Both Rough Riders underestimated that ball. It got over their head and bounced all the way to the fence. That was well struck. So a leadoff double to get things going here in the bottom of the third for the Wildcats. Next up is number 10, Vega. He shows bunt. Stockwell crashes. He pulls back, slashes, and fouls it away. That maneuver did work in the first inning. They had a couple of base runners. They did the slash bunt and got one in the gap between short and third. Vega shows again. They do pick at second. A good play on, good throw, and Metter's able to get back, but it was nice and tight. And the pitch outside, 1-1. This time he does lay down the bunt. It stays in the batter box, and that is a foul ball. So good job by Jaden Lane not to touch that. Ball died in the batter's box, so we call that a strike. All right, now the count 1-2. Vega showed bunt on 3 pitches and pulled back and tried to slash. The one pitch he didn't show bunt on, he bunted. This time, pops one in the air. That was the curveball. He got under it. And Link with a diving play in this wind, folks. A nice job by Link. Had to run in a circle, literally, and at the last minute dives and makes the play. That is a big out.
Yes.
Riders put one on the board, and the runner returns to second. Nice job by Sutton Link to put that in a glove. I mean, we can actually feel the wind. We are inside the press box, and we feel it blowing. And this pitch low, ball 1. So this is Warren batting in the 3 spot. Man on second, 1 away. Hit hard right up the middle. They're going to come to first. Greer with a scoop and not able to put him away. Stockwell couldn't dig it out. And the Wildcats round third and get on the board with the overthrow at first base. It just skipped in, went right over Stockwell's glove. Tough break for the Riders.
Definitely. Because that was going to be 2 outs with a man on third. It looked like we might be able to escape the – whoops.
Yeah, just a good play all the way around. Greer with a good scoop. He throws it just a hair short. Stockwell stretched and went to scoop it, something he's done 1,000 times, and when he looked in the glove, there was nothing there but dirt. Ball goes into the dugout. Extra base is given. Run scores, and we have 1 away with a man on second. And that pitch low. So a ball to Rose. This is number 2, Rose. He's the third baseman. Score is now 2-1, Rough Riders. Same pitch, same result, 2-0. Goes outside, 3-0. This is the 3-hole hitter. Got a 3-0 count. First base is open. And strike, 3-1. Taken all the way there. Curveball hit sharply in the gap to left field. They're going to send the runner. There's going to be a throw and no tag at the plate. This game is tied. So a tough break there. Rose with a good bit of hitting for his Wildcats. Slaps one in the gap to left field just hard enough to get that runner around third, and he's able to score. It is now 2-2 here in the bottom of the third. One out, now a man on first base. Marshall is the Wildcat at the plate. He's going to hit this a looper into right. Chandler is back and unable to get to it. It gets over his head and bounces off the wall. They're going to stop the runner at third. So the Riders digging a little bit of a hole here. That was just one of those lazy fly balls that just kept traveling and traveling in the wind, and it just literally blew away from Chandler. I don't think it was hit that well, but it carried and it carried and it carried all the way to the fence. All right, so that's going to bring Coach Greer out. So the go-ahead run, standing 90 feet away. Tied ball game with one out. Boy, a tough break for the Riders. They looked like they had things going their way, and just a couple of clutch hits from these Wildcats, and things turned around quickly.
Are we making a change?
I think he's going to leave. He's going to leave Wolf. That was just a, hey, everybody calm down. We're still in this game. Got a little bit of Indian chant going on. I'm not sure how that ties into the Palestine Wildcat theme, but we'll go with it.
Yep. So obviously, if you can, you want to hit the ball up in the air tonight.
Yeah, with that wind, that ball was hit. And when it came off the bat, I set a lazy fly ball to right, and it kept traveling and traveling and traveling. And I looked up, and oh my goodness, we couldn't track it down, and it kept blowing away from Chandler. All right, Jeffers. And he takes curveball, strike one. This hit hard and in the gap under Sutton's glove. They score the go-ahead. They're going to send another one, and they score two on an RBI double from Jeffers. Boy, Link was literally inches from putting that in a glove, folks. He made a diving play, and it was just an inch away from that being an out. So the double into left scores two, and the Wildcats are up 4-2 here in the bottom of the third. Ordonez comes up. Ordonez calls time and steps out. This is bunted foul. So these Wildcats pretty good at what we've always called a drag bunt. They just wait till the last second, and then they just kind of stick the bat out there and tap it. Stockwell's going to play tight. This one inside and misses, 1-1. This one foul back over our head. 1-2. And that ball on the edge misses. Lane asks where's the call? Just on the outside. So now 2-2. You can hear the wind whipping. It's already wrapped the flag around the pole, Counselor.
Yeah.
It is really blowing out there, and it's starting to swirl a little bit. And outside catches him, strike 3, and another K for Wolf. Couldn't have come at a better time for these Rough Riders. That is now 2 outs with a man on second and a long bottom of the third. This is Bassett at the plate. And he takes 2 pitches low, so 2-0 count to Bassett with 2 outs and a man on second. Curveball, and there's a strike, 2-1. Good looking pitch from Wolf. And this one gets away from Lane, and they're going to advance a bag. So the runner goes to third. I think Wolf and Lane got crossed up on that pitch. Lane calls for time. They're going to go out and just double check signals. So the count now 3-1 with 2 outs and a runner at third.
See what Wolf has in his bag of tricks here.
Comes hard fastball, strike 3. They're going to ring him up.
Oh, it should be strike 2, right?
Whoa, I'm sorry. The way he gave that sign, he normally points. He came up with his strikeout call there.
Right.
That's why I called it the way I did. You're right. It is a full count.
We need it, though. Oh, there it is.
And there's the strikeout call. Woo, that was a big pitch by Wolf, able to stop the bleeding. Where do we stand after the bottom of the third?
Well, Palestine's able to score 4 runs in this inning, and now they take a 4-2 lead here over the Rough Riders as we go to the top of the 4th. And we'll have that right after this.
Batters Law Firm is proud to be a third-generation law firm serving the injured people of East Texas since 1964. Batters has settled thousands of cases and paid out over $25 million to clients from settlements in the past 2 years. Visit one of their locations for your free, no-appointment consultation and let the Batters team implement their proven approach that incorporates treatment and recovery while maximizing settlements and payouts. Batters Law Firm, serving you in Nacogdoches, Lufkin Center, and Houston. Remember, when it matters, call Batters. 833-BATTERS. 833-BADDERS.
Whether it's with family and friends or just some time to yourself, summer is better on the water. And Farmers State Bank has exactly what you need to make those dreams come true. Learn more at fsbctx.bank.
All right, we have a pitching change for Palestine. Number 4. What was his name? Ordonez?
Ordonez is coming in. He was the, second baseman when the game started. He comes in relief. Right-hander. And he'll face Radney, Chandler, and Holloway.
So see if the bottom of the order can get something going for the Rough Riders here.
Ball outside. And a swing and a miss, 1-1. Yeah, the wind is swirling. You can actually see the flag. It'll blow upwards, which is weird. I guess it's just we're on this hill, and somehow it's catching that fence and blowing up. And Radney with another swing and a miss. It's now 1-2. And Radney goes down on strikes. So Chandler comes to the plate. Ordonez records his first K. Whoa, outside high, and they're going to call strike one. Same pitch.
Different result.
Different result. 1-1. Can't blame Ordonez. I got the call the first time. I'm going to go back and try to get it again. Fastball, strike two. And this one fouled away.
Ooh.
And that one a little too tight to take, but he gets the call.
Get away with that one. Don't take that one again.
Goodness. So a 2-2 count. One away here in the top of the fourth. See if Chandler can do something here. Strike three, and he's going to be set down. All right, so now we're the 9-hole hitter, Holloway, to the plate. Ordonez has come in relief and has 2 Ks to his credit. Goes outside and misses low. Hadn't seen anything but a steady diet of fastballs out of Ordonez, but he is moving it around a lot. That one foul back. 1-1. Well outside. Looks like that might have been his breaking ball. It kept tailing away and away, so I'm going to go 2-1. That was a curveball. Fastball hit hard toward the shortstop.
Oh, nice
They're going to come
hit.
up throwing, and a miss at first base.
Yep.
Ball goes into the dugout. Catcher scoops it up. So good job by Holloway hustling down the baseline, and he is on with a, we'll call it E6 throwing error. So the Riders have a man on, 2 outs. Back to the top of the order. Greer steps in. Holloway hit that ball hard.
Yes, he did.
And Greer attempts to do a bunt play, but it bounces off his foot. That was that drag bunt as well.
They were not expecting it, so I think that might have been might have worked.
Yeah, that was a good strategy call by Coach Greer. I like the call. And they catch him leaning at first base, and they throw Holloway out for out number 3. A tough break for the Riders.
All right, folks, we're going to go to the bottom of the 4th. Riders trail 4-2.
Granny B Snow Cone Center is your source for great summer treats. It begins with quality shaved ice. From there you get everything from the single colored snow cone to a really creative summer treat. And besides, the counselor likes it. They're also your home for Dippin' Dots. They've been supporting the Rough Riders for a mighty long time. So pull up to the window at Granny B's and let them serve you something special.
You know that Center Glass can fix your cracked windshield. But for the experts at Center Glass, fixing a windshield is just the beginning. Center Glass can also renovate your bathroom, turn your fixtures and shower into something entirely new and unique to your home.
Shelby Savings Bank has come a long way since it was established in 1982, and the good folks that work at Shelby Savings Bank really enjoy doing things in the community and for the community. And they would like to encourage everyone to please shop local. For all your banking needs, please visit these wonderful Shelby Savings Bank locations, with 2 locations in Center, locations in St. Augustine, Palestine, and Lindale.
All right, everybody, we go to the bottom of the 4th. With Palestine up. Who do they got up?
Well, let's see. I can't see number 7. So that is going to be their 9-hole hitter, Wacha. So we'll get 9, 1, and 2 this inning. Ball 1 to Wacha. Wacha, Metters, and Vega coming to the plate. Pitch outside, ball 2. Comes back with a good fastball, 2-1. Another fastball, that one just a hair low. It's now 3-1. Wolf wanted the count, asking his catcher where he missed. And curveball, strike 2, full count. And another curveball, and that's going to issue a walk for the 9-hole hitter here in the bottom of 4.
That normally does not bode well. You never want to walk the 9.
Yeah, that's not the one you want to lose. All right, so back to the top of the order. This is Metters coming up. Metters got that rally going in the bottom of the 3rd. Couple of RBIs to his credit. This one hit a mile high. Stockwell gives chase. Will he have a play? No, just outside the fence. Again, the wind definitely took that ball. I think that would have stayed in play on any normal night, but with that hard left to right wind, it just blew it just over the fence. Comes back inside under the hands, 1-1.
Watcher kind of made a move like he was going to try to steal and then came back.
This one is looped into right field. Chandler gives chase over his head and one hops the wall. They're going to send the runner home, and he is safe at home. The ball came into lane, just not in time. And Metters with a RBI triple here in the bottom of the fourth. It's like the Riders having a tough time picking the ball up in the outfield tonight. I don't know, not making any excuses, but it looked like Chandler had a hard time finding the ball in the air, and by the time he did, it was over his head and bouncing toward the wall. So Vega steps in with a runner at third. Score is now 5-2 Wildcats. No outs. Curveball, strike one. Good pitch from Wolf. See if we can settle things down here. That one inside and misses, 1-1. Wolf going to face the heart of the order for the Wildcats now. And he did swing, tried to check. Now 1-2. And this one hits him on the back of the leg, and a hit by pitch puts runners at the corners. So no outs. Now with a man at first and third. That's going to be the end of Easton's journey tonight. Coach Greer comes out.
All right, we'll take a quick break while we make this change, and we'll let you know where everybody is when we come back right after this.
You know that Ace Hardware of East Texas is all the hardware you need, but there's a lot of other things they have too. Fun things for your camping trip. For the 4th of July barbecue, to the house warming in the fall, to your Christmas shopping, it's Ace Hardware, the helpful place. People come to Covington Lumbers for construction projects, and one of those, paint projects. Whether it's exterior or interior, Covington's has you covered. With the Farrell Calhoun brand, over 120 years of excellence, vivid colors.
For paint, it's Covington's.
Imagine what it would be like to be your tire.
That's not good, man. Watch where you're going.
It ain't easy work, so you don't want to trust it to just any old tire. No, you take your car and truck to Center Tire. It's an old tradition with a new chapter under Trey Burns, because being a tire is hard work.
Are we there yet?
Serving our communities for over a century, Farmers State Bank continues to meet the financial needs of East and Central Texas. With roots that run deep, Farmers State Bank serves as a source of financial strength to meet the needs of our neighbors. From a comprehensive range of financial products to individual service, we remain dedicated to being a true community bank. Farmers State Bank, improving lives and fulfilling dreams.
All right, everybody. So we're going to have Case and Greer on the mound, and we're going to have Wolf go back to shortstop, his normal position. And so we'll pick it right back up here. Palestine has been able to score a run, make it 5-2. We have runners on the corners with no outs.
Number 3 batter Warren steps in. Not the situation you want to find yourself in, having to come in relief, but it is what it is. Greer with a long look. Checking. Not going to deliver. Delivers, but time is called.
I think cat and mouse there.
Yeah, just trying to slow things down here. Obviously, the Wildcats have a play on. The Riders have a play on. Just going to kind of pump the brakes. That pitch low. Ball 1. Saw that graphic. Farmers State Bank, 117 years. Contrary to popular belief, David Chadwick has not been there the entire time. And that one gets past Lane. The runners will advance, and a run comes to the plate. Lane did not realize he had missed that pitch. He stood up before he realized the glove was empty. It was too late by then. Palestine adds a run. It is now 6-2. The runner advances to second base. There are no outs. This one hit hard in the gap, not even a chance for Link. They're going to come home with the runner. They're going to come home with the ball, and the runner is safe and safe at second. So an RBI double for Warren, and that makes it 7-2 Wildcats. That ball was hit so hard, Wolf and Link didn't even step toward it. All right, so Rose, the third baseman, comes to the plate. Same song, no outs, man at second. That pitch in the dirt, and runner will advance to third base. Lane able to keep it in front, but did not field it cleanly. Had no shot at a throw. So the Riders are going to come in and cut the run. Everybody in on the grass with no outs and a man at third base. And Greer misses 2-0. Skips this one in, goes to the wall, and the run will score from third easily. And the bases are now empty. It is 8-2. All right, so everybody can take a deep breath, move back to their spot. Here we go. This one hit sharply to Link at third. He fields it cleanly, comes across, scooped, and the ball gets past Stockwell at first.
Wow.
That's just one of those things, folks. It multiplies. It is certainly contagious. Gonna have to find an antidote pretty quickly here. No outs, man at first base. Brings up number 15, Marshall. Curveball, and misses. This one hit sharply to Link. Link's going to go to second. They get one for sure. Turn it, turn it. Stockwell came up with that one, but not in time. They're going to say he's safe at first base. Coach Greer's going to come out and ask for an excuse because the ball certainly got there in time. Stockwell caught it clean. All right, so the Riders unable to turn the double play, but they do get the lead runner at second. So one away, runners at first is safe. Brings up number 9. This is Jeffers, the opposing pitcher, who started the game. They're going to check on the runner at first. Big curveball for a strike. Nice pitch by Greer. Jeffers with a couple of hits tonight. This is hit off the hands into right field shallow, and a nice play by Chandler to put a second out on the board. That's the first one. Chandler's actually had a good look. He got a good jump. He come jogging in, made an easy play. It's been tough on the outfielders tonight.
Yep.
A couple of balls have gotten over their head. They just, for some reason, have had a hard time tracking. So 2 outs, man at first. Bunt play. Greer fields, throws to Stockwell, and we are out of a very long fourth inning.
Punishing inning, too.
Oh, goodness. How'd we end up?
Palestine ends up tacking on another 4. And so they've gone up 8-2 here as the Riders will come to the 5th right after this.
Batters Law Firm is your first choice in personal injury law. Jeff Batters and his staff lead the way in the area with best of Nacogdoches and best of Lufkin votes over the last several years. If your case matters, it's got to be Batters.
Father, for lunch today, I would like a salad.
Father, for lunch, I'd like one of those American
no, I couldn't possibly.
cheeseburgers.
I'm a vegetarian.
Cheeseburger. That's
Oh,
what I need.
Father.
Ice cream. Oh, when everyone in your family thinks they're royalty, take them someplace where they could all get something good. Dairy Queen.
Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Center proudly supports all the students and schools of the Piney Woods. Stop by the lot and feel free to check out all the wonderful vehicles we have to offer, no matter what adventure you're planning on taking. We have a wide selection of used vehicles and a service department that can service your vehicle. Get all the info you need about your next vehicle online. That way you're prepared for your car deal when you hit the lot. Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Center.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We go to the top of the 5th. The top of the Rider lineup is going to be up. It's going to be Greer, Link, and Wolf.
With Holloway getting picked off at first to end the 4th inning, the Riders are going to be able to send Greer back to the plate. So the top of the order, time to catch up some runs here. Greer takes the ball outside.
Don't have to get 6 in one inning, but you have to start stacking a few here.
And a swing and a miss, 1-1. And a swing and a miss, strike 2, 1-2. Ordonez misses again. 2-2. Big gold necklace shining from Ordonez.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the umpire hasn't said anything. Usually they're pretty picky about that kind of stuff. And swing and a miss. And Ordonez records another K. All right, so Sutton Link comes to the plate. Curveball, strike one. Ordonez is just the opposite. His curveball gets a lot of vertical,
right,
but doesn't get a lot of side to side. And that one misses outside, 1-1.
The official is.
I think the Rough Riders were jogging down to the bullpen, so he just asked everybody to wait a moment and let them clear the field. Here we go. That pitch high, 3-1. Yeah, I think the bullpen gate might have been closed or locked or something. They had to crawl over the fence. Crawl the fence. That's what he was waiting on.
Oh, that's well struck.
Link gives us a nice swing, and that one bounces off the wall in left. In the corner, Link digs for a stand-up double, and that's going to help the cause with one out. Here in the top of the fifth, Sutton Link with a big double off the left field wall. He hit that a long way into that hard wind blowing out of it. That's how hard he hit that ball.
Yeah.
He swung, pulled that into the corner. Good job by Link. Let's see if Wolf can capitalize.
Wolf's been on both times with the hit by pitch, and then I believe he got a single.
Ordonez steps away. Big curveball, misses high.
No wind or very little wind at the moment, so.
Finally getting a little break. That one goes outside. Good job by the catcher, Marshall, to even keep that one in the field of play. 2-0 count to Wolf, one away. Link standing at second base. We are in the top of the fifth. Riders find themselves down 8-2. Wolf with a foul ball, almost a check swing. Didn't give it a full swing, but you could hear it come off the bat. So count now 2-1. Whoa, little chin music for Wolf. 3-1. That was a good hard fastball, and I mean literally, it was right in under the jaw. They're going to call that a strike. Wow, that was a floating changeup at best. So I believe the count is 2-2. They've got zeros on the board.
3-2.
3-2, so full count. All right. And a swing and a miss, and Wolf is going to go down on strikes. Caught him with that changeup again. He was way out ahead of it. So now 2 outs, man on second base. Brings Stockwell to the plate. Swing and a miss. High and outside, 1-1. The Riders need to capitalize on Link's double. He's looking awfully lonely out there at second base.
Yeah.
And this one hit well.
That's
Will
good.
it get in the gap? Knocked down by the shortstop. I do not think he'll have a throw. Stockwell is up and runners on the corner. Good job, Stockwell, to dig that out. Shortstop was able to knock it down. Surprising that Warren was able to range that far and keep that ball on the infield. Had he not, Link would have been standing at home plate. So now with 2 outs, Jaden Lane's going to come to the plate with runners on the corners. Outside. Ordonez steps away. And they're going to step toward Link and throw to Stockwell. He's back easy. And the fastball misses high. Inside, and they're going to call that a strike. Wow, that almost hit Lane. Rough Rider fans not happy with that call. That's now 2-1. And this one fouled off Lane's foot. 2-2. Big at bat here for Lane. 2-2 count, 2 outs, 2 men on. Riders find themselves down 6 runs here in the top of the 5th. Outside, full count. fouled away.
Got Emanis on deck if Jaden is able to reach.
They step 3, go 1. Everybody's back.
That was awful close to being a balk, I think.
It was very close, and he almost threw it away at first
Yeah.
base. Their first baseman's maybe 5'7".
Yeah.
And they've almost thrown 2 or 3 over his head tonight on plays like that. And a swing and a miss from Jaden Lane, a tough break for the Riders. My goodness, they are still out of this. We got a couple of outs left. A lot of work to do between now and then, Counselor.
All right, that's right. Riders still trail 8-2. We'll be back for the bottom of the 5th right after this.
JBA Financial Services brings you Coach Talk, and there's a reason for that. John Black knows that when you're preparing for an important game, you need a plan, and they'd like to be a part of the details, the X's and O's of that plan. He's put together a good team, a coaching staff that would help you and your family get where they want to go. At JBA Financial Services, they're working to secure your family's future.
Sparky D's Bargain Store.
Sparky D's Bargain Store. Ooh.
Sparky D's Bargain Store.
We take our cars for granted, but what happens when they won't start, or they won't run, or they won't turn off, or you get the lights on the dash that say something's wrong and you don't know what to do with it? East Texas Auto Care. It's on Tenaha Highway as you leave town on the left, and they can take care of everything. The trained technicians understand the complicated electronics as well as the engine itself. The Mendoza family would love to take care of you and your vehicle at East Texas Auto.
Farmers State Bank, un nombre que conoces y en que puedes confiar. Somos sus vecinos y compañeros comunitarios. Estamos comprometidos a cumplir sus necesidades financieras, proveyendo soluciones bancarias para sus préstamos, hipotecarios, comerciales o personales. Con 120 años de servicio a nuestra comunidad, somos parte de sus rodeos, hipotecas y festivales locales. Queremos que sepas que estamos aquí para ayudarte. Visítenos en fsbctx.bank o ven a vernos hoy. Farmers State Bank, mejorando vidas y cumpliendo sueños.
Imagine what it would be like to be your tire.
That's not good, man. Watch where you're going.
It ain't easy work, so you don't want to trust it to just any old tire. No, you take your car and truck to Center Tire.
All right, folks, here we go. We start the bottom of the 5th. Riders trail 8-2. Can't give up any more at this point.
Greer on the mound for the Rough Riders. He's going to face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. This is Bassett at the plate. 1-1 count. And this one hit sharply but foul down the first baseline. Outside skips away, 2-2. And
Got him.
strike three, twice the ice, caught him looking. Good pitch from Greer.
We're talking during the break. It's kind of gotten a little chilly out here.
It is. Twice the ice kind of comes to mind there.
Yeah.
We got folks breaking out blankets and hoodies and wearing flip-flops at the same time. And this one fouled high and way out of play. This is Watcha.
He started the rally last inning with getting on with a walk.
He did. Lead off walk, and then things got ugly after that. 1-1 count to Watcha with one away. Outside 2-1.
Oh, Greer bounces another one.
Yeah, Greer, the last three have gone in the dirt. Yep. He's going to have to check his release point a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
3-1 count. And this one hit sharp. Good job by Link making a diving stop and scooped by Stockwell for the out.
That was well done.
Well executed out there. Boy, that's hot corner stuff. Link was literally catching that as he was falling to his right. Just made a stab at it. Went to his knees and threw out the runner at first. Stockwell with a good play over there to keep that ball fair. All right, so back to the top of the order now. This is Meter with 2 outs. And that one bounced in.
I think Metters has had a good night for Palestine here.
And that one high and outside, 2-0. Yeah, Metters really swung a good bat, which, of course, is what you want from your leadoff hitter. There's the strike, 2-1.
Nice pitch.
Came in under the hands with a fastball. That one skips in, 3-1. Not sure what's going on with Greer. He is leaving a lot of balls short.
Yeah.
There it is. 3-2, full count.
Just throw that again. Make Metters put it in play.
And this one swung on and just slow rolled. Link with the play and not able to make it. The ball gets away from Stockwell, but they turn for second. And they're going to tag the runner out. Yes, sir.
Got lucky on that one. It came right back to Stockwell, and he's able to get it, track it down, and make the out.
So the Riders catch a break here in the top of the inning. The ball, just like the counselor said, it bounces, comes back to Stockwell. He's able to scoop it up and throw the runner out at second. But we are still way down in this thing. We're down 8-2. Riders got a lot of work to do and running out of outs to do it.
Whether it's with family and friends or just some time to yourself, summer is better on the water. And Farmers State Bank has exactly what you need to make those dreams come true. Learn more at fsbctx.bank.
All right, everybody, we go to the top of the 6th. Got a new pitcher for Palestine. Who's in there, Mr. Locke?
This is number 5, Beckham, comes off the bench in relief. And he will face Emanis, Radney, and Chandler.
So the bottom of the order, see if they can't get something started here for the Rough Riders.
Link led off the last inning with a double down the left field line, bounced it off the wall, but not able to capitalize. See if the Riders can stack up a few base runners. And Manis with a 1-1 count. Two one. Oh, and that one almost got him.
What's the rule on it, Locke? Should you have taken that one for the team?
Man, late in the game, you're down. Oh, and that one is going to be ball 4. So I have one way to look at that. Bruises go away, but glory lasts forever. You take it for the team, baby. Right. We need base runners. We got plenty of ice.
Twice the ice, make sure of that.
Twice the ice takes care of the Rough Riders. We got plenty of ice. All right, well, things worked out good for Emanis. He draws a walk. Leadoff is on. Radney comes to the plate with no outs here in the top of the 6th inning. High and outside. And this one gets away from the catcher, and Emanis able to take an extra base. I thought that got, I could have swore that hit Radney, but
nobody's jumping up and down like it did.
That's one of those, had he gone, and ran to first, they wouldn't have stopped him. That's going to draw a visit from the Palestine coach. He's going to come out and talk to Beckham. Yeah, that was so tight and close. If I was Radney, I would have been hurt. It's time to pull out that Oscar and do a little acting. Well, the Riders, tough night. 2 big innings. They jumped out to a 2-0 lead. They gave up 4 in the bottom of the 3rd and 4 more in the bottom of the 4th.
Right, they got 2. They could have easily had 3 or 4.
Yeah, there was a weird out in the first inning when the Riders had men in scoring position. We still don't know what happened there.
There had to have been. They'd say there was some kind of
maybe an interference.
It had to be some kind of interference.
Something like that is the only thing you get called out in that situation. So, all right. So Radney steps back in. 2-0 count on Radney with no outs. Emanis at second base. Big curveball for strike 1. So that's the first look we've had at Beckham's curveball, and it was a beauty. Shows bunt, bunts the curveball, and foul. I think that was a good call by Radney because that would have been another strike.
Yep.
Hard to bunt a curveball. Two count. And another curveball is pulled foul into the Rough Rider dugout. So he's seen 3 hooks in a row from Beckham. And that's 4 curveballs in a row. That one missed outside. We got a full count. All right, now Vegas money tells you he would never throw 5 curveballs in a row.
Right.
But we ain't in Vegas.
No.
Full count, no outs. Man on second. Hard fastball down the middle, and Radney just gets a piece of it foul.
Guess Vegas would have been correct again.
That's right. They generally don't lose out there.
No.
Another fastball. This one's fouled away. Radney with a fantastic at bat. He's seen some great pitches here from Beckham, and he's handled them. See if he can keep things alive here. Full count, no outs. This one hit in the gap. That's going to get through. They are going to hold the runner at third. Was hit well, but shallow left field, and the left fielder was on it quickly, but a great job by Radney to put that out there with a single. So now the Riders, no outs, have runners on the corners. Chandler's going to come to the plate with an opportunity to tack on a few here.
Well, if you turn on one, get it up in the air, take it out of here.
Yeah, the wind's back blowing again. Chandler, big, long, lanky guy. If he can get under something here. Fastball in under the hands for a strike. Bunt play goes in the air and foul. Not a bad call. I kind of like that, actually. There's no outs, runners at the corners. If they throw the bunt away, you've got a runner on third that can score. Not a bad call from Coach Greer. Chandler just not able to keep it down and fouls it back, 0-1. Swings through, 0-2. I'm sorry, we missed a foul ball, so that was a strikeout for Chandler. One away. All right, so bottom of the order, this brings Holloway to the plate. Holloway got on his last at bat. One away, runners on the corners. Shows bunt. Runner goes. They throw to second. Safe at second. Wow. Did not slide.
Yeah.
Went in standing and safe.
That's the correct call, but it was. I thought he was going to slide and be in.
I did too.
Easy.
Yeah. If he'd have slid, he'd have been in by 2 steps. But he chose to go in standing up. I'm sure Coach Greer will have a little powwow after the game.
Did not send the runner from third home, though, on that.
That pitch well outside. Yeah, I mean, the pitcher almost reached up and grabbed that. That's why they couldn't send the runner from third, because you didn't know if it was going to be a cutoff throw or not. But he let it go through. And this hit hard past the first baseman. The Riders add a run. They're going to wave one from third. They're going to add 2. And a great job. Greer steps up and
Chandler,
rips.
Right? That's Chandler, right? Wasn't it?
I'm sorry. Is that Chandler? No, I'm sorry.
That.
Holloway.
Oh, Holloway.
That is Holloway, folks. Sorry about that, Holloway family. Holloway steps up and rips one past the first baseman. Fair ball with 2 RBI single. So congratulations to the 9-hole hitter. He came up clutch. with 1 out, and we put 2 on the board. It's now 8-4 with Holloway at first base. And back to the top of the order with Greer. Greer bunts. He's going to have to hustle. They make the play at first. All right, so Greer sacrifice. Now there's 2 outs. They do move Holloway to second base, and that's going to bring Link to the plate. Link with probably the best hit ball of the night for the Rough Riders. That one skips in, but catcher Warren able to keep that in front. Excuse me, that's Marshall. Marshall with a good play to keep that in front of him. That pitch catches the outside corner. It's 1-2. Excuse me, that should be 1-1. Yes, they just corrected. I'm sorry. 1-1. Curveball, strike 2. All right, Link's got a little work to do here. 2 strikes on him with 2 outs. Runner at second. And he fouls this back. Greer was moving on the pitch, or Holloway rather. Holloway was moving on the pitch. And this one outside, Holloway has stolen third. Ball well outside, catcher had to dive for it. Holloway was in easy. All right, so that changes the dynamics just a little bit. Link has a runner 90 feet away with 2 outs, 2-2 count. Fouls this off.
You like 8-5 better than 8-4 going into it.
Yeah, we talked about it. They don't have to get them all, but they got to get a few. So we would love to get at least one more here. And a swing and a miss, and we're going to strand the runner at third. But the Riders finally caught a little life, Counselor.
Yes. Able to pick up 2 runs here in the 6th. Damage done by the bottom of the lineup. We go to the bottom of the 6th, but the Riders still find themselves trailing by 4 runs, 8-4.
Granny B's Snow Cone Center is your source for great summer treats. It begins with quality shaved ice, and from there you get everything from the single colored snow cone to a really creative summer treat. And besides, the counselor likes it. They're also your home for Dippin' Dots. They've been supporting the Rough Riders for a mighty long time. So pull up to the window at Granny B's and let them serve you something special. Do you own a plot of land? If you do, no matter what the size or the makeup of that plot, Bird Forestry needs to be on your side. They like to say, it's your forest. Let Bird Forestry help you manage it.
All right, everybody, we go to the bottom of the 6th. Palestine looking to add some insurance runs. Insurance is important in it, Mr. Locke.
That's right. You work hard for what you have. You need to make sure that you protect it for unseen problems, issues. Unfortunately, we're going to put the lead off on with a hit by pitch. Greer's going to hit him on the foot with the very first pitch. Umpire's going to kill a little time. Give that young man a minute to shake it off. That was Vega, the 2-hole hitter. So now we're going to face 3, 4, and 5. Warren, Rose, and Marshall. No outs, man on first. That one in tight, misses. Good lead over at first base. That pitch out of the zone, 2-0. And this one hit hard into center field. Holloway gives chase. Nice play by Holloway. My goodness, he ran a long way to track that down.
That he did.
Holloway stacking up some nice plays. Had a great 2 RBI hit in the top of this inning, and then comes up with a fantastic catch there, folks, in the bottom.
Got our Aurora Concepts postgame show coming up.
They're going to pick first, and that was close,
Yeah.
but he was able to get back.
If you're looking to have a vegetable garden or want some pretty flowers, Aurora Concepts, that's going to be hit.
This is a soft roller. There's
going.
nobody to cover, and they did not get him at first. It was a last-second flip.
Greer fell down.
Greer fell coming off the mound, so Stockwell made a good play, but there was nobody to throw it to. He tried to flip it to Imanis, but not in time. That almost got dangerous because it was a glove-to-glove flip.
Yep.
So now runners at first and second with one out. Ryder's going to have to shut the door on the Wildcats here. Can't afford to give up any extra runs.
Can't give those runs back that we just got.
And a big swing and a miss there. Nice pitch by Greer.
But I was saying, if you want a vegetable garden or want some flowers, go to the First Methodist Church tomorrow morning or through Aurora Concepts. The youth are selling plants and flowers.
It's a good day for a flower sale.
Yeah.
It's going to be beautiful outside. Everybody's working on their flower beds and gardens. That was a foul ball off the ankle. They're gonna give this young man a minute to walk around. Yeah, I need to spend a little time in my yard tomorrow. That sounds good. It's going to be a beautiful day.
Yep.
Good job by Lane. They scoop it up. They catch him in the rundown, but unable to make the play at second. Imanis didn't come up with it cleanly. They had him off second base, but ball drops out of Imanis's glove, and unfortunately the runner heads to third, and he's in safe. So now we've got runners on the corners with one out.
That's too bad because we had him dead to rights.
Good job by Lane spotting that. He saw him leaning. Batter took his eye off Lane, and Lane threw behind him. Now they're going to throw to first, back safe. So there's one out. It's a 1-2 count on the batter. That one skips in, 2-2. Strikeout right here would be handy.
Yes.
Runner at first with a good lead. Long look by Greer. He's not going to throw that pitch. Give everybody a chance to reset. They come to the plate. This is hit straight up, but it is curling foul. And just did get foul, hit right on top of our roof.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, that one wasn't going far. So the count now 2-2 with one out. Curveball.
Oh, thought he had that
Oh,
one.
goodness, he missed. I guess he missed low. That was a beautiful pitch. Full count. They pick at 1. Back safe. Runner goes. Ball is flared into right, but drifting foul, and yes, out of play. All right, so Greer gets a new baseball. Full count at the plate with 1 away. Runner still at first and third. They pick 1 again, back safe. Runner goes, Lane throws, got him in a rundown. Unless the runner comes home, he does come home, they take the out. So the run across the plate. So that run will count.
Because it was a strikeout at home. So strike him out, throw him out, but the runner does score.
Yep. The runner was not tagged before he crossed home plate, so it is now 9-4.
All right, folks, we'll be back for the top of the 7th.
Ricky Andrews Construction is your choice for construction projects, large or small. He's the local expert in tile work, and he'll do a painting job for you of any size. And he can work wonders with a bathroom. Give him a call or find him on Facebook. You've heard us speak often about Aurora Concepts, the clinic where they want to take care of you. Well, a lot of patients have taken them up on that, and Dawn Barnes was recently voted the best nurse practitioner in Shelby County. So hop on in and see what the fuss is about at Aurora Concepts. People come to Covington Lumbers for construction projects, and one of those, paint projects. Whether it's exterior or interior, Covington's has you covered. With the Farrell Calhoun brand, over 120 years of excellence, vivid colors. For paint, it's Covington's. So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the Pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center.
All right, everybody, we go to the top of the 7th, and who do we have up here, Mr. Locke?
Let's see, this is going to be Wolf starting things off. So we got Wolf, Stockwell, and Lane will come to the plate. Only got 3 outs to give, so the Riders running out of time. Wolf's going to take a curveball for strike 1. That pitch outside, 1-1. Beckham back on the mound, close things out. And a check swing ball. 2-1. All
right, see if Wolf can get something started here for the Rough Riders. Need lots of base runners.
And foul tip. Full count to Easton Wolf here in the top of the 7th. Riders find themselves down 9-4. Curveball, Wolf's going to pull it. Third baseman comes up throwing, and they are able to throw him out at first base. So 1 away here in the top of the 7th inning. Riders down to their last 2 outs. Stockwell's coming to the plate. Foul tip, strike 1. Wind is now ripping again.
Yeah.
You can see the flag blowing. Big curveball, strike 2 to Stockton. And strike 3, swing and a miss. And the Riders, 1 out remaining. Jaden Lane comes in.
So what Lane can do here for the Rough Riders.
Foul tip, strike 1. Had a big hit, 2 RBIs earlier in the game in a clutch situation. This one hit right at the shortstop. He comes up throwing, and that is the ball game, folks. Riders are going to drop a tough one here in Palestine, 9-4. Counselor, final thought.
Well, it's rough. It's what we've seen. We gave up two bad innings, give up 8 runs in those 2 innings, but things just kind of got away from us. But we'll tee it up and do it again on Tuesday.
That's right, Tuesday at the Horseshoe in Center. We'll get to see these Wildcats one more time. Come out and support the Riders if you can, or listen here. We'll bring it to you live.
All right, folks, so get ready. We're going to go to our Aurora Concepts post-game show, and we'll see if we're going to be able to get with the coach.
At Aurora Concepts, our team of doctors and advanced practice providers are highly trained and qualified in family medicine. We strive to provide our patients guidance towards the healthiest lifestyle possible. We offer a full spectrum of family medicine, including scheduled appointment, mobile vaccine units, sports physicals, and walk-in visits with no appointment. We accept all major insurances, including Medicaid and Medicare, and we also have the most competitive self-pay rates in the area. For highly trained expert care in East Texas, choose Aurora Concepts. Let us take care of you.
When you think Center Motor Company, Billy Don, what do you think?
Trucks, and more trucks.
They have pre-owned vehicles.
Yep, and a lot of them's are trucks from all brands, makes, and models. But the Ford trucks, man, they got a fleet of them.
Yes, they do.
Come on down to the corner of Hutcherson and Hurst, Center Motor.
Batters Law Firm is your first choice in personal injury law. Jeff Batters and his staff lead the way in the area with best of Nacogdoches and best of Lufkin votes over the last several years. If your case matters, it's got to be Batters.
All right, welcome, buddy. It's the Aurora Concepts post-game show live here on NETSN, Wyndham Family Dental. Something to smile about. And I would think it would be our young guys, especially our Center Motor Company player of the game, Colin Chandler, coming through with some big hits here for the Rough Riders this evening, but it's just not enough as they fall to the Palestine Wildcats at 9-4. We got Jason Locke down there. We see him getting set up with the coach. We'll get him on. We'll get this done. Jason Locke, can you hear me?
All right. Can you hear us, Counselor?
Yeah. Take it away. Our JBA
we're standing in a hurricane down here, it feels like. I've got Coach Greer with us. Coach, kind of an up-and-down game. You jumped out early, and then things went the other way, and then you made a little bit of a comeback, but kind of got away from us there at the end. Tell us your thoughts on how you played tonight.
Well, I'm proud of the kids for not giving up. They could have folded over extra. But we come out, score runs the first thing like we need to do. He used to come out throwing strikes. Had a good first inning. Come out second inning. We got behind the count, and then when you get behind the count, he had to throw strikes, and they're a good hitting team, and they showed us that. So.
Got these same Wildcats coming to center Tuesday night. Any change in the strategy, or what do you expect?
Yeah, we need we have to put the ball in play, whether it be a little small ball or just make them make plays. We've got to put the ball in play, especially in the lower half of the lineup. Like I said, we put the ball in play quite a bit. I have to look at the numbers, but we need to make them make mistakes.
We were noticing the team seemed to be more aggressive at the plate tonight. We're certainly putting the ball out there, but both teams were hitting the ball well. A lot of good plays by your defense. We were impressed by Holloway late in the game. Came up big with a couple of RBIs and a nice play in center field. Talk to us about your center fielder a little bit.
Yeah, Jackson. He had a rough game last week, and we had a really good practice yesterday. Kids, come together and just gonna start holding each other accountable. And Jackson's one of those that stepped up, and it showed tonight. He sat there and made a heck of a play out in the center. He ran a long way to get it, showed his speed off, and then he showed up big with two strikes. Came out and got that base hit down the first base line and just scored a run for us. So.
Well, the Rough Riders got plenty of district games left. We will see y'all Tuesday night. And any last thoughts? Anything that stood out to you tonight?
Like I said, our defense is solid. Our hitting's been there. Our pitching's been there for us this year. So we just got to put it all together. And once we get it all together, we're gonna be all right.
All right, sounds good. Well, Coach Greer, we'll let you get out of this hurricane we're standing in. I know you want to talk to your team. Thank you. Back to you, Stephen.
All right. Thank you, Jason Locke. That's our JBA Financial Coaches Talk. Again, brought to you by JBA Financial. We'll hear from them, and we'll come back. We'll close out the show.
JBA Financial Services brings you Coach Talk, and there's a reason for that. John Black knows that when you're preparing for an important game, you need a plan, and they'd like to be a part of the details, the X's and O's of that plan. He's put together a good team, a coaching staff that would help you and your family get where they want to go. At JBA Financial Services, they're working to secure your family's future. Nobody wants to.
At Aurora Concepts, we offer full-service primary care. And we provide physicals for student athletes for every sport. Aurora Concepts. Let us take care of you.
Aurora Concepts brings us the postgame show, but now they're working with the First Methodist Church Children's Ministry to provide the spring plant sale. Working by hand alongside Don Barnes, the kids have put together a garden full of plants that you can then plant in your own garden. We'll see you Saturday morning at the church for the plant sale. At Wyndham Family Dental, it's always about family. Their family welcomes you. Their family takes care of you. At Wyndham Family Dental, it comes down to this.
If you have something to smile about, smile.
Everybody, welcome back. It's the Aurora Concepts post-game show here as we see the Rough Riders end up falling tonight to the Palestine Wildcats 9-4. Riders start off with 2 runs in the first, but Palestine answers with 4 in the third and fourth. Frames go up 8-2. Riders get a couple more runs to try to get it close. Palestine gets 1 insurance run in the 6th, and that was it. So, like we talked about in the post-game show with Coach Greer and Jason Locke, the Rough Riders will take the field again this next Tuesday in center against these same Palestine Wildcats. We look forward to that, getting a little vengeance, maybe get a win against this team down there as we move forward through the district play. And Mr. Locke, you've gotten back up here, back in the relative warmth of the
I tell you what, we talked about the wind, but I didn't appreciate it till I got down on the field, and I mean it is howling down there, and it's nice and chilly. That's tough conditions to play baseball in, that's for sure.
And that explains some of the stuff we saw out in the field. Well, thanks to you, Mr. Locke, for joining us. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to everybody that tuned in. And again, we'll be back on the air Tuesday night, 7 p.m. from the Shoe when the Rough Riders take on again the Palestine Wildcats there. Till then, everybody have a good weekend, and we'll see you Tuesday.
The proceeding has been a presentation of the Pineywood Sports Network, an affiliate of NETSN. God bless America, God bless our troops, and God bless each and every one of you.